Today I'd like to tie for you a Glint Purple Haze. The hook I have in a vise is a 2/0 circle hook. When you set the hook on these, you don't set the hook, you just continue to strip and it'll go right into the side of his mouth. I'm going to use 35 thousandths lead wire. I'm going to put 10 wraps on there. Yeah. Pull that off. And pull that off the back. I'm going to use 210 black thread. This is a pretty thick thread. I'm going to start it in the back, and I'm going to cover the lead wraps. I'm going to start out with Deer Creek's Glint Fiber Plus in white. I took some out and I folded it over. I'm going to cut that loop. I'm going to take the ends and kind of make them uneven. And I want this to be about 4 to 5 inches off the back. I'm going to take that and I'm going to split that, and I'm going to bring them down on the sides. I pulled through and I pulled some out, so I'm just going to tie that right back in. Same way. Okay, I'm just going to fold that back. I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take another bunch of the Glint, and I'm going to cut this into about 2 to 3 inch strands. Now I'm going to take my dubbing whorl and I'm going to make a dubbing loop. Going to take that Glint that I cut up into the 2 to 3 inch pieces. I'm going to pack this dubbing loop, and we're going to give that a spin. We're going to take that and push that all to one side. We're going to take that dubbing brush and we're going to wrap that. We're going to stroke all the fibers towards the rear as we go. Don't worry if it looks like it's too tight. We're going to use a brush on it to pick it out. And we're going to go ahead and tighten that down. I'm going to use a wire brush to get all of the fibers combed out. Don't worry, you will pull some out. Pull them out of the bottom. And you can just fold them all back. There we got a pretty nice looking body coming along there now. I'm going to take Deer Creek dubbing brush, and this is a Lavender. or purple. I'm going to secure that in. It would be easier to do the white section if I had a dubbing brush, but I don't have any more of them. And we're just going to put 2 wraps. There's one, and now we're going to just bring this up. It seems like it's a pain to work with, but it's not. Pull a little bit extra of the material down. I'm going to tie that off. Now I'm going to take my wire cutters and I'm going to snip the wire. And we're going to pull all of this back over it. And we're going to clean up that head. I'm going to take my wire brush one more time, and I'm going to pull out the trapped fibers from the lavender color. You can take my bodkin needle and help pull those out. Now we're going to take a bunch of Peacock Herl. We're going to put them on top. We're going to tie them in. Put a couple of wraps and then kind of flatten them out so they go across the top more. So you have them more like that across the top. I'm going to tie that, lock them down. I'm going to whip finish this off. Going to take my scissors and I'm going to curl the Peacock Herl. Pull everything together and see if we have to trim off any of that Peacock Herl, which I have to trim off a little bit of it. I'm going to take some 6mm eyes. These eyes you could actually fold around them. They're not too stiff. I'm going to take my Deer Creek Diamond Hard UV resin. I'm going to hold those eyes and I'm going to put the resin in between on the top. I'm I'm going to pinch them together and then I'm going to hit them with the UV light. I'm going to put some around the bottoms of the eyes. You don't want too much buildup on the bottom because you could take away from the gap of the hook. I'm going to pinch them together. And now I'm just going to put a couple more layers on there. And here we have the Deer Creek Purple Haze baitfish. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.